Apparently, you can now rent a robot for $8 an hour to replace those pesky employees who just don't want to work anymore. So obviously, we knew that automation was coming. We've been hearing it coming. We knew it was coming. We've heard about it for years. But I don't know if I ever anticipated just being like, you can rent like an hourly employee. So now there's no huge capital outlay that a business has to do. Like if there's like, I don't know, like serving tables or something, it's like instead of having a server, now you can pay a $10 serving robot that will go and bring the thing, and it has like a little iPad and you type in your order and all this stuff for, $6 an hour, for $5 an hour. It's like, oh, we don't even fucking need servers anymore. You don't have to tip the robot. So just in general, gut reaction here, you're hearing this title, you're hearing the concept, rental robots replacing employees, good or bad?
Oof.
I'm going to say good.
You're gonna say good. All right.
Say good. I like this. More screens in my life. I don't want to chit chat with anybody. I don't want to know your name on your little tag on your shirt. Just give me a screen. Let me hit some buttons. And actually, I went to one restaurant in my life so far where that was the situation, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I mean, I love how COVID brought the QR codes, and some restaurants even have it where you can like pay for it on like through the QR code at the end. That's amazing. I'm a professional programmer, so like to think of automation it's not going to happen anytime soon. Like the idea of like a walking, iRobot, Will Smith robot coming to you and giving you your steak or whatever. Like it's functionally, it's the same as like a conveyor belt bringing it to you, right? Like the robot's not going to like pick up on the nuances of like your reactions or your requests and things like that. So, I mean, I don't think it will happen, but if it could, do it well, I support it. I think the initial reaction, I think a lot of people are going to be upset and hurt, but overall I think it'll leave people to do more important tasks.
I love the idea, kind of to your point about like the the Will.i.am robot.
The I am, what's it called?
I am robot.
I am robot. Yeah,
I am Will.i.am.
Out of like all the robot movies that have come out, I thought like that's the one that for some reason stuck in my head.
I do love the idea that like the company most behind, like most pushing for like this like highly advanced and intelligent AI robot is like Chili's or something, and they're just developing a robot that has enough nuance to like ask you how you're doing before it like recommends onion rings or something.
But can you imagine that nightmare first date of going out to a restaurant and being served by a robot, but then you have to like call technical support?
I love the idea that the robot is like so advanced it like comes to the table and is like, I am detecting many pheromones at this table. The woman is in heat. The man has half of an erection as we speak. Might I suggest the blooming onion?
So I feel like we're really harping on the restaurant idea, and I guess that's on me. I suggested that, but there's like many other applications for this, obviously, like especially in manufacturing and shit like that, or like any kind of like assembly line conveyor belt where a lot of people are doing like repetitive motions. Like maybe I know a lot of those are like super dexterous, like tactile little things. Like you need little child hands, especially malnourished children because they have especially tiny fingers, to really do the little. The detailed work there. But robots will eventually replace that. And then my concern here, and I'll be upfront with it, is like we already don't value people for just being people if they're not tied to profession. Like we think about just how we handle healthcare. Like you don't even deserve the right to be treated at a hospital if you don't have a job that gives you either money to pay for your own insurance or insurance outright. Like your worth effectively as just a healthy functioning person is tied to your work. And if we're now at a point where rental replacements exist for people, where does our inherent worth come from? Like as a culture, like the right, I think, would have you believe that, like, well, you're worthless, of course. Like, obviously, if you didn't develop the patents for the robot, go fuck yourself, right?
Well, they get jobs maintaining the robots then.
Yeah, maybe they're like cleaning the undercarriage, scrapping off the oil for like even less than the robot's getting paid. Like you're like the robot's butler. I don't know, taking the robot. You bring the robot home to its robot apartment every night. The robot chauffeur. Like,
how was work? Like the guy's trying to make conversation.
So
I would prefer just to ride in silence. Thank you.
recharging. So some more information here. So Formic, the name of the company that's rolling this out, buys standard robot arms and leases them along with its own software. They're among a small but growing number of robots finding their way into workplaces on a pay-as-you-go basis. The robot
finding their way, like are they like applying for jobs like on the street, like looking for help wanted signs?
I think it's a little robot army scanning.
I love the idea that like they're bringing back the traveling salesman, but like you're peddling a robot. Like I noticed you got a lot of human employees back there. You ever thought about renting a robot?
So the robot as employee approach could help automation spread into smaller businesses more rapidly by changing the economics. Companies such as Formic see an opportunity to build large businesses by serving many small firms. Many are mining the data they collect to help refine the products and improve customer operations. So they're basically like reproducing like how this model used to be, where you would to be one of these companies to get a robot, like if you wanted a robot employee or whatever, you'd have to spend like $200,000 or more to like get the actual physical hardware, and then in many cases develop your own software, or lease or subscribe to some other software. So it was a huge capital outlay right at the beginning. Now they're putting it in a delayed economic model that you don't have to. You'd be like $8 an hour, dude. I can't not replace this person.
Like from the standpoint of like free market economics, like I think it's a brilliant idea. Like I think that it's going to be like a boon to smaller businesses that like can't afford to fucking, like to Shay's point, buy the $200,000 metal bending robot or something like that. But I just to Guggen's point earlier, like we know that this is going to have like devastating social impact, and it's just going to create more talking heads talking about like freeloaders in society, and like we told you pieces of shit, we fucking told you shouldn't have asked for like more money per hour. Now look at you, you're homeless and you crap on the sidewalks, and you just, I have to look at you and I hate you. Like I just feel like that's what's coming.
I think you're right. What do you think, Lauren? You think we're on the edge of like Matrix style replacement of robots for people? And
probably, and we probably should consider opening up some like almost like senior living facilities, but for like millennials instead, and just for people who are fully bodied, able, working, but cannot find any work anywhere.
I don't hate that idea.
Doreen would be first in line, or what was her name? Who went on Fox News?
Yeah,
Doreen.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Lauren, if you're talking about senior living facilities without not just for seniors, those are just called living facilities, and I think people should have those. So I'm in full agreement with you. Especially if you're absolutely right though, Lauren. Like think about like if we were just like, all right, robots are extremely cost effective. Like to Ian's point, they're extremely cost effective. They do things better, faster, and they free up time for other people, and they save just the overall economy and resources. Let's let them do that, and then the money that gets generated to the companies that are leasing them, let's just redistribute that money to supporting people, generally. And I guess we're going back to the work reform ideas here. Yeah,
I think this really, I mean, to me anyway, like this just signifies, I don't know if you guys would agree with this, but I think it's indicative of just like the race to the bottom. Like, I mean, like we can't not wait to like not pay people money. And right. I think this just goes to highlight that. And it's funny because like news of this, I think Guggen might have just mentioned this, but like news of this and the following news of like just the disastrous anti-work interview. And like that would have been a great opportunity to talk about that. Like, like automation is coming. You can rent robots for $8 an hour, but instead we had fucking doofus Doreen talking about like, I need more dogs to walk while I read them fucking Plato and talk about the Philosopher King. So it's just like... I don't know, like it feels, it's one of those things that I read about. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. I fucking hate it.
I would imagine people probably have a more emotional response to robots, right? You think robot, you think something with 2 legs, 2 arms, and like something that resembles a face. But it's like I'm not like a manufacturing expert, but obviously machines and things that have made manufacturing easier have been invented and come out over, many years. And that didn't entirely replace people. And is the robot just not another machine that helps the manufacturing process?
I can see like a conservative standpoint being like they want like a blowjob robot on every corner to like stop sex work. And just be like, It's like instead of buying a Pepsi, you can just buy a Hummer. Like,
Are you referring to Hummer as like the really antiquated way of saying a blowjob?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to have a vibration.
I was trying to make the connection between Pepsi and like the car that like Arnold Schwarzenegger drives, but I did not.
I mean, to apparently to Guggen's point, they're not going to look like humans. So I am imagining like a giant block that you just like stick your dick in, and it's got like different like, you know, rotating options. Like, so
well, it has to have options.
it's got to that's going to be a new job. Someone's going to have to clean the cum dispenser in the blowjob robot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ian, the blowjob machines already exist, and
I know
they're
they
not
do. Why do you think I brought that up?
They're just not on every corner.
I'm just waiting for them to become rentable. I can't afford them at the price they're at right now.
So, so let me just read one last bit to you, and just kind of get your opinion on how you feel about this last little data point, and then see how you guys feel overall about this concept of rental robots. So it's unclear, even to economists, what impact the growing use of robots will have on the supply of jobs. Research from Darren something and Pasquale something else, economists at MIT and Boston University, respectively, suggests that the adoption of robots from 1990 to 2020 resulted in fewer jobs and lower wages overall. So knowing that it puts people out of work and the people that keep their jobs get paid less, in addition to everything else we just talked about, rental robots, good, bad? What do you think?
I still gotta say it's good. You know, it's tough. Like my own dad is a laborer, so like these kinds of robots would put him out of a job. He primarily drives for a living, so automated cars, like we've talked about this, it's gonna put him out of a job, and like so it affects me personally. But I still think overall it's probably for the benefit in the long term.
I just don't. I don't think it's preventable. I think it's gonna happen. So it's like we're gonna just have to start to learn to reconstruct our lives and what our ideas of what our valuable time and worth is going to be like, because it's not going away. I think it's just going to continue.
Yeah, so look for me on my new subreddit, Fuck Robots, which I'm going to have to change to Robots Are Bad when too many people come looking for the blowjob robot.
Are you fucking robots, or you are expressing your disdain for them?
I'm just going to try to grow the movement at first, so it'll kind of be like, you know, it's like I'm not
whatever's more popular.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid like any purity politics. It's like, you know what, fuck it, come one, come all. Like let's grow the movement.
So many excellent puns.
Yeah, it's literally. Yes. All right. That's our show. Goodbye. Fuck off.